going on, guys? Good morning. Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. We haven't been here in so long.
I forgot what we do.
I was about to say, let's just be off for the holidays forever.
Right.
Hell no, we got shit to talk about. Hip hop got to be talked about. No other show we're gonna do it like here. We got to get to it.
We'll get to it, but you guys had a good holiday weekend?
I had a great holiday weekend. I didn't do anything but chill in the crib.
That sounds really nice.
That shit was amazing.
Did you have the like post-Thanksgiving-itis? That lasts for
Nah,
like
I
4
didn't
days.
eat a lot. I've been cut a lot of food on my diet, so I ain't really eat too much. I only ate like mac and cheese, turkey, and stuff, and I ain't eat too much more of it than that.
Wayno's just trying to be his best self every day.
Yeah, man, I'm chilling.
I mean, I was online googling like liposuction and shit. I plan to gain 15 pounds over Thanksgiving.
Don't
but
be Kanye, please.
I'm serious. But yo, my family canceled it. Yo, it was the first time it ever got canceled. I was shocked. I was saddened. Yes.
What, did
With
it cancel like
Thanksgiving
the day before Thanksgiving?
No. Well, you know, I wasn't communicating as much. So like the day of, I'm like, all right. So I hit the people I usually hit like, all right, so when we going? They're like, yo, we're not having it this year. Not there. And I was like, it's a little technicality.
So you were the last person to find out? That sounds about right.
Yeah.
They don't
Kind of
fuck
what
with
happens
act.
here
No,
in Everyday
it's
Struggle.
because I usually show up late. I want, you know what I mean, the little grand appearance. I get there after the talking is done, the food is ready.
You do that to your family too?
No, I chill after the food like I eat.
It's what,
like I can't talk to you a lot, but when the food is getting prepared, I'm sorry.
All right.
After the food is eaten, yeah, let's go.
You're a horrible family member. You're horrible.
I know he doesn't just do it to us. But yo, so apologies for not having an episode yesterday. Ak had to travel to Atlanta for a shoot, and his flight got canceled. It really wasn't his fault for once. So
it wasn't. Yo, listen, I was in the airport. I was in the airport thinking I'm gonna come back. I didn't know what's going on in the skies between Atlanta and New York. I don't know if it was rain or whatever. It said canceled. I'm like, just my weekend.
It was raining pretty bad, but when he sent that text, I was like, oh, I'm taking my ass back to sleep.
I know. I appreciated the extra day off.
Well, at least I didn't come in here before
no,
that.
I appreciated the heads up, and it looked like you had fun with 21 out there too.
Yeah, man. Salute to 21, yo. Like we got like real cool and like we got a better understanding of each other, yo. You know what I mean? He had me in this. He had me in some place. Oh, by the way, I gotta do this, and you guys might not know what it is. Listen, based on a bet I lost to 21 Savage, he said I had to come to Everyday Struggle, and I now have to pledge allegiance to the Slaughter Gang. So here I am, the Slaughter Gang, until I don't know when it expires. But don't worry about the bet.
You gotta put a sword behind your ear too.
Nah, I don't know what that is. I'm just saying.
How you pledging allegiance to Slaughter Gang? Don't know the logo and none of that.
Well, I took the bet. Like I took the bet. It was
a knife. You don't remember that?
No, it was a heated. No, I know what it is, but what I'm saying is that I don't know what it means to pledge allegiance. Okay. I'm just saying it, okay? But Salute to 21, you know, his album coming out, I heard it, amazing. Like, it sounds real good. I gave him some constructive criticism.
Already? Okay.
I mean, I would imagine if you bring me in, you didn't bring me in to just say, oh, yeah, this is amazing, right? So, you know, we talked, and I think he's on a very good path.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow. All right. Exciting weekend for Ak. I know, right? All right. Let's try to catch up on a whole week's worth of news, but let's just start with Joyner and Tory. All right. So remember last week, right before we left, Tory Lanez accepted the Joyner Lucas battle challenge, and then they went back and forth over Thanksgiving week. Let's play a little clip of ZZ.
Boy, you just a pony with a pink saddle. I'm truly sorry that you stuck inside of Drake's shadow. When are you gonna overcome? When are you gonna level up? When are you gonna grow another foot? When are you gonna show us that you're #1? And everything that you accomplished in some years about to take me just a couple months.
All right, so we got Liddy again, and then the ZZ freestyle. So that recent one was from Joyner Lucas. Now, Tory has yet to officially respond to Joyner, like on record, but he has declared himself the winner of this battle. He even got on stage, had a moment of silence for Joyner's career.
Poured out some Henny. You can't forget that.
Some Henny.
That's like sacrilegious. You can't waste the Henny like that.
And then he challenged any American rappers who wanted to catch fades, who wanted to battle. This was a lot of fun, but let's start. Are we already declaring a winner? Can Tory declare himself a winner since he didn't respond to the last track?
You go first, I'll go first.
All right, so look, the whole shit, right? Because Tory's first on the Lucky You freestyle, like, he didn't diss Joyner. Like, he didn't, like, diss him. He just was rapping. Joyner came from left field with the disses. Like, he just started dissing the shit out of him. I fucked with the Liddy joint that Joyner did. Lucky You was good. Joint that Joyner did. And then Tory did Liddy.
Liddy again, yeah.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, I was disappointed in Joyner on ZZ. Only because ZZ is a very, very dope verse, but it's the wrong beat. Like, when I heard that beat, I was like, come on, dog, don't diss him on this shit.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, I was like, don't diss him on this shit. Like, go hard. Like, it made you remember how dope of a beat Liddy again was, how both of them went back and forth. So, I don't know if Tory is declared winner yet, but he's definitely in the lead.
Definitely in the lead. So wait a minute, what about Liddy from Joyner then?
That's what I'm saying. The Liddy from Joyner was crazy, but Tory's Liddy was crazy too.
Tied crazy, and then ZZ knocked him down a notch?
ZZ, and just the beat though, because his verse is hard. Joyner's verse is hard, but the beat is just like, come on, dog. I can't tolerate it. I can listen to Liddy again 100 times.
All right, so Wayno has issues with the beat.
Hey, I'm going to call in some fan help here. So everybody watching, I really want their help on this because I think how you grade it determines what happens next.
Okay.
Right? So I want to see how the fans grade it because I was looking at it one way, but then I started looking at it another way. And the way I'm grading it now, Tory got the dub. But I do think he needs to still drop a record to completely, like, you gotta literally have the funeral, and that would be the funeral record. But I do believe he's leading. So out of all these tracks, Lucky You freestyle, Liddy again by Joyner, then Liddy again by Tory, then ZZ. The best record is Tory's Liddy again. So if I'm saying Tory has the best record, right? It's what does that compete against, right? Because, so there's two schools of thoughts.
Okay.
We're going to go track by track. So people are putting Tory's Lucky You freestyle versus Joyner's Liddy freestyle. And if you do that, I don't have a problem if you say Joyner got round one.
Okay.
See, that's why this all matters, right? Then what's round two?
Liddy versus ZZ.
Liddy versus ZZ. Tory got round two. We're up in the air, right?
Okay.
So we want one on that. But another school of thought in how you're judging this is, okay, we're not gonna count Lucky You freestyle because it wasn't a diss.
It wasn't a diss.
Okay. It wasn't a diss. And also, because I spoke to Tory, Tory says, hey, I'm cool with y'all counting it, but count it against what I was rapping against. Look at what he did on the song with him and M. Mm-hmm. I was showing people that I could hang. So compare how Joyner did on that song to what he did on that beat, right? Mm-hmm. And then he says, okay, we're going to compare both Liddy against, right? And then ZZ is kind of, it doesn't have a response.
Well, it's like a mathematical equation.
It is. And again, I'm just going with, I have Tory in the lead, whether we're going to count the Lucky Yous or whatever, I have Tory in the lead because the dopest diss and also the dopest lyrical exhibition in all of this was Tory's Liddy again, the freestyle.
Are we impressed with how quickly they responded to each other?
Oh,
our dumbasses were up here talking about, oh man, let's see how Joyner took less than 24 hours. We look stupid as hell.
Well, the thing about ZZ, and this is why I say Tory's in the lead because my only problem with it is the beat. Because if you listen to Joyner's verse, his verse is hard. So you could definitely match the verses up together.
I'm surprised the beat distracts you that much. I know Ak also hates the beat a lot, but
no, Ak loves the beat. He don't like the song.
Oh, you don't like? I love the beat. You don't like Kodak? It being Kodak's song.
Yeah, the song. And I do have some commentary about the beat and Joyner, but go ahead.
All right, so the beat for me is just like, it just throws me off only because of the sound of it and what he's rapping about. Now, I thought it was kind of funny how he put the little baby, like he made the baby and had the baby like rocking to the beat with the artwork. That was cool, but as far as like bars, his bars is like, I can't complain about that. But the beat selection is the only thing that threw me off.
So let's focus on ZZ. Okay. I thought that was a severe misstep by Joyner Lucas. Severe. Not that the song was whack lyrically. I mean, well, I think that was his attempt of going the route Pusha T did. And what I mean by that is some real direct personal attacks. Like the lightness is Tory's hairline. Everybody got jokes about Tory's hairline. You're short, your hairline, this, that, and the third. Like, you're like the second dude that's the alternate from Drake in your own city. Those are like standard. He got at him on the ZZ freestyle about like your dad. Some real kind of some shit at the tusk. Yeah. Some shit that even social media might pick up and be like, oh shit. Some stuff that wasn't even, to a lot of people, even known. Mm-hmm. And I thought when he did that, it didn't connect as it should have if he was going that route.
Oh, okay.
It didn't really connect. You get me? Like, if you're going to do the Pusha T, when Pusha T dropped you're hiding a child, that's it. That's the bomb.
Did it just not make sense at all since they declared that it was basically a friendly battle anyway?
I think, to me, it didn't make sense. When it didn't make sense to me when he started dissing them. I thought that he could have had the same like verse without like directly saying like shit about Tory, because then it was like, all right, if you want to be lyrical and be fun with it. But once you start saying attacks, it's like then he took it to a whole new level. Which I ain't gonna front. If you thought Tory couldn't fucking rap, there's no question if he could rap now.
I know, and he has some balls really challenging anyone.
Absolutely.
Anyone who wants it.
It's been fun. It's been really fun, but like, I mean, like you said with the personal attacks, I just was like what's that for? Like, what's that about? You know?
All right, so winner aside, both of them got great exposure from this. Who do you think got the most? So my favorite person to weigh in on this, of course, is Lil Baby. He sounded like Akademiks giving a compliment. Whoever the fuck Joyner Lucas is, he's hard as fuck. And you give a shout out to Tory too. But that sounds like you. I've never heard of you before in my life, but you're amazing.
Except I have heard of Joyner. And also, like, to be honest, it also showed that in the midst of a lot of very serious things that's going on that's really newsworthy, like, to be honest, I was really, really interested in this. And that's why I still think Tory, I told Tory, I said, listen, Tory, I'm not gonna lie, I got you in the lead. And if you win, you could come up to Everyday Struggling and give the eulogy of that nigga. We could do it like that.
Oh,
but
hard.
no, it's a competitive thing. You get me?
I know, but
it's nothing like too serious. But I do believe you can't leave him just hanging with the ZZ joint. Go back over that record like he just did.
Leave that beat alone, please.
No. What? Show Joyner what he did wrong on the beat then. You get me? Even if it's just a lyrical exhibition, I think he should keep going. However, here's the thing. And if you notice on social media afterwards, Tory started feeling himself, really feeling himself. He was calling out a lot of people.
Yeah.
J. Cole could get it, Kendrick could get it. Pusha, where you
all
at?
y'all Americans. He took it to nationality.
Exactly. But honestly, I do believe, and you know, I've talked to him, like, he felt like he couldn't wait for this moment.
Yeah.
Even, he gave us a shout out, by the way.
Yeah, he did give us a shout out.
And by the way, Tory, next
Very
time,
clever.
shout out Nadeska. He told me he forgot your name. Very disrespectful.
It's okay, it happens.
It's okay. I love it. Anyway, Tory watched all of us talk about it. And when we first talked about what was to happen after Lucky You Freestyle, we said, man, this nigga Tory he's about to get demolished. Well, I think we thought he could hang, but we didn't think he would ever be on the plus side.
I wouldn't say that. Well, for me, I didn't think that he wouldn't be capable. I know Tory's capable. I mean, for Joyner, I feel like Joyner, he wins a lot with this only because Tory's more popular than him, right? Like, Lil Baby is not, because a lot of people's like, yo, that's crazy, Lil Baby. No, Lil Baby's not listening to Joyner Lucas, but for him to have that recognition is ill. So I don't think anybody really loses out of this, but it's all friendly competition. But I think that Joyner, I don't think that he's like way behind, but Tory's in the lead, but Joyner's not way behind.
Yeah, no, of course. And by the way, salute to, yo, if not for anything, that's why I'm glad it's like so friendly. The timeline in these guys responding to each other shows how much they care about their craft, how much they care about their reputation, and how much they want to prove themselves. I love all of this. Yeah. So the loser is not a winner, right? Like, we might give one person an edge. It could be Joyner or Tory at the end of it, right? And honestly, it's really great exposure for both.
Absolutely.
So I look at all of this going back and forth, and I even look at Tory, and I'm like, we may have underestimated. Remember, I said when he was on live and people were calling people out, when he saw that comment, I said, yo, well, what about Joyner Lucas? You're not nicer than him. If I'm him, knowing how Joyner gets down and Joyner just loves doing this all day, I look at that comment and I act like I don't see it. You gotta know, you gotta pick and choose your battles. And Tory hung for a little while. I still think he needs to do one more track. I did call him though. I told him, I said, Tory, the Liddy again. I keep calling Liddy again. But that freestyle had so much shit in it. I think you probably shot the whole clip. Like, the whole clip, you let the whole clip off. You got nothing else. And he told me he got some other shit, but I'm like, no, you don't. You gave everything. You gave an impression of him. You basically summed up his whole career. You went down your accolades. You compared, like, there's nothing more you could get to. But I could be wrong. However, I think he needs to rap again.
For the way that it's going, it's just going to be who has the better sounding verse at the end. So
Yeah.
Let's see how it pans out.
But to your point, a great look for everybody. So
Absolutely.
Joyner got a lot more exposure. Lil Baby finally knows who he is.
Right.
And Tory proves that he can hang with, you know, one of the best lyricists we have.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, this won't even end when we think it ends, because they're supposed to do a track together after this all blows over.
That's gonna be lit.
And you think it's not gonna be competition? Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing though.
But that's why I said shit happened from the rip.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the one that's gonna really determine it.
that's what's going to determine. They gotta at least do 24s though. It can't be 16s. They can't get their point across the 16s. They gotta do 2 24s.
I agree.
All right, let's see. We need more of this, less drama. All right, so more new music. Diplomats, we finally got Diplomatic Ties, their first album in almost 15 years. 9 tracks, we got features from Belly, our guy Tory Lanez, of course, The Lox, and more people. And of course, Cam starts strong, taking a jab at Kanye on the first track, Stay Down. But that aside, just general impressions of this album after such a long wait. Wayno, One Time for Harlem.
One time for Harlem, one time for Harlem. I mean, for me, it's exactly what I expected it to be. Like, it's exactly what I expected it to be. And the person that's shining the most on here is, surprisingly, my nigga Jim Jones. Like, Jim sounds like...
Surprisingly?
Yeah, because Jim was never the forefront of the Diplomats as when it comes to, like, lyrical ability. Like, everybody knew it was Cameron, then Jewels, then Jim. Jim, to me, is shining lyrically the most on the project. So, ultimately, I'm happy with it. They got my man Unkasa doing the outro. He did the Diplomatic Immunity intro. Overall, this is a dope project. It's a dope project. Like, I'm happy that they finally got a chance to really lock in, because a lot of shit, they did do songs together, but it was like, all right, mailing in verses. For them to really sit down and put together a project for their fan base is perfect.
They kept it pretty concise, too. After so long, they could have justified putting out 25 songs or something, but they didn't even get close to 12.
Right.
Maybe I'm just used to so much, like, diplomatic, like, community, like, those particular CDs that I thought this shit felt like an EP. I ran through it like this.
I mean, it was kind of.
And I will say, though, only thing that did shock me, the sound a little bit, because I am so locked in with the heat makers, with the soul samples sped up and those particular drums. Their sound evolved a bit. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I was kind of getting used to it. But again, when I was really excited for this project, for some reason, I just really wanted, like, literally Diplomatic Community 3. like I literally wanted that. However, seeing that they were also evolving, I couldn't knock them. Like, you know, they had Tory Lanez in a joint. They weren't focused on just being stuck in, hey, you guys really fuck with us in 04. Let's bring it back. You get me? So I really give them big kudos to them, and to be honest, I'm just glad that they all linked back up.
Yeah, overall, I'm just happy for the excitement more than anything. It's like, just to see the excitement.
It's a moment.
Yeah, it's definitely a moment. It's definitely a moment, and they capitalizing off of it in the right way. So I'm happy with it. Diplomatic Ties.
Were you guys surprised to hear Cam taking a couple shots at Ye?
No, Cam takes shots at everybody when he feels like it. You know what I mean? Like, he always does. So I wasn't surprised at that at all. Like, that's Cam. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's been his whole career. Especially with somebody like Kanye. It's like,
it's too easy right now.
It's too easy. It's too easy.
Well, I was a little bit surprised he took shots on record.
Like, why?
I mean,
Cam had got shot. Cam been taking shots, whether, like, he has done, like, parody type songs where he's taking shots at people, and he's always has something to say, like, whatever what's going on in pop culture. So.
Well, like, for example, when him and Mace went back and forth shortly.
Very shortly.
Right? Like, I understood that, though. It's very intimate and very, like, there was a lot of history there.
Yeah.
With him and Kanye, even though, like, they worked on a song, which I fucking love, I don't know if there was a lot of, like, history there, or maybe he's just like us, commenting on what's in the fucking news, right? And given that he did have some type of interaction with Ye, he was just giving his piece. But I was like, oh, shit, Cam's coming for it.
Cameron, this is the person who said, you know what me and Poppy did, left him on the road like the Cosby Kid. Like, for real, Cam has always talk crazy, so I don't expect nothing. I mean, that's what I love from Cam. That's what I love from Cam, so happy about the whole Diplomatic Ties.
Okay. Is Jay gonna respond?
Yes, of course he is.
With some sneaks.
Hopefully Kanye doesn't respond. Any updates on Yandhi? Every time we look, it's delayed.
No.
That's a 2020 album, right? He'll drop it when he runs for
You're right.
president, I
Exactly.
suppose.
Right.
All right, we got time.
Right.
So over the Thanksgiving weekend, we also got a couple new songs from Meek. I'm not gonna play these snippets. I don't know. Some labels are a little bit tricky. We don't want to get in any trouble since it's been a while since we had an episode. But anyway, he dropped 2 tracks. We got Uptown Vibes and Oodles O Noodles Babies. That track is like number 44 on iTunes at the moment. His album is coming this week. What do you guys think?
Well, Oodles O Noodles Babies is one of the joints I heard when I went to the studio with him, and I heard Uptown Vibes, but I don't think it didn't have
Anuel.
It didn't have Anuel, it didn't have Fab either. Why did you say Anuel like that?
He's Hispanic. You gotta like roll the tongue. Like, what's the problem?
Let's keep your rolling tongue moments for your personal time. Okay. But yeah.
Go to my Hispanics, man. Latin trap in the
My Hispanics. You sound like Trump. But overall, I'm happy with these 2 records. I'm ready for the album. I'm ready for the album. I think that once everybody gets a chance to really listen to it and digest it, they're gonna understand. Like I've been saying for the past couple, like 2 months.
How many times you heard this album already, Wayno?
I've only heard it like once, twice. No, twice. I've only heard it twice, but I don't know what's gonna be on the album.
Sure, okay, Wayno.
I don't know what's gonna be. Well,
he's like, I've heard every single song Meek recorded since
he plays.
came home.
Meek plays mass. He doesn't like. He won't play you one song. Like he'll just play you a song, and right when you halfway into it, he'll just switch to another song. Like he plays you 50 songs at one time and be like, "What you think?" And I'll be like, "I don't know what to think." Like, you know what I mean? But I'm waiting for the album. 30th. Let's go.
I thought Meek was 1 out of 2 with these songs. I love the Oodles O Noodles track. That's like me. I'm used to. I always say this. I make this like analogy. I'm not saying I don't like growth, and I do love growth. But you know, like if I always go over there for the coke, and again, this is a reference, okay, clearly. If I always go to that nigga for the coke, I don't never want to go to that nigga for the weed. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, like
could have said Pepsi.
All right, the Pepsi. Whatever, nigga. I'm just saying, all right, fine. I'm just saying, whatever I'm used to you giving, I like evolving, but still staying true. So like when I hear Oodles O Noodles, I'm like, okay, there we go. The other joint, that wasn't like off base, but I felt it felt a little nostalgic a little bit. The beat, you know what I mean? I see Fab coming, I'm like, salute to Fab, and I'm like, then Anuel was just like, tacked on at the end. I was like, I didn't get that.
Anuel threw me off, but you know, in order to understand what this record is, you got to spend some time up in Dykeman. You know what I mean? The place that Safari got kicked out of. Like, you got to
break it down then.
You got to spend some time in Dykeman, because I can assure you, when Dykeman basketball tournament starts up, everybody from everywhere, like that's what like Rucker used to be in the late 90s, all of the 90s and early 2000s. Like Dykeman, they got it when it comes to basketball, and they also got it when it comes to nightlife. So this is gonna be a joint that lives in nightlife up there. La Marina, everything, like Playroom, all those spots up there, they gonna love it.
Okay, and then the other thing that I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for a song like Pray For Him, Glow Up, like those very hyped up, lit Meek. Yo, I'm aggressive. I love that aggressive
content. It's on the way, B.
Whenever that drops, I'm sold. And I get, you know, like, I think Meek has now evolved to a place in his career where it's hard to find that balance, because it's not like you're just only the dude from the hood who doesn't have a international fan base and also a myriad of people or difference of like musical taste you got to satisfy. So you can't just give one type of music. But I'm waiting on the shit that I like from Meek, because I think he does the best.
Did you hear the snippet with Kodak?
No.
He posted on his page, but I heard the joint with Kodak, so.
It's fire? It's like that?
Yeah, it's one of them joints. It's definitely one
on
of
that
them
aggressive Meek.
Yeah, no, you're going to get all of that.
4 a.m. on the north side of Philly.
It's a lot of
around like these kids are trying to get me. That's what I want.
It's a lot of different shades of Meek on this album, but it's true to who he is, but you can, like you said, you can see the growth as well. Like, you know what I mean? That's what's going to be ill about it.
Okay.
All right, so it's coming this week, November 30th. Yeah, championships, and then he's heading out on tour early next year, so look out for that.
Hey, can let's ask a question real quick, because I made a bet with 21's manager.
Keep making all these fucking bets.
I like making bets.
You lose every single bet you make. That's the problem. Everyone.
Yeah.
What's wrong with y'all? Jeez.
Go ahead. What's the bet?
No. Lil Baby and Meek, they're both dropping on the 30th, this Friday. Street Gossip and Championships, respectively, from each artist, right? Who y'all think will have the #1? Who's gonna sell more? And I made the bet. I won't tell y'all who I picked, But I made a bet on who would sell more. But I don't know. Like, I think these next couple days, if songs get released, will tell us a lot.
Well, for me, I think the obvious answer for Wayno is gonna be Meek, and I just think because it's a lot of anticipation because of how long it's taken, and people and people want to hear what he's got to say. Not to take nothing from Lil Baby because he's on fire, and he just put up some shit on his IG last night where I was like, damn, like he really spitting on there. So I think that they both satisfy the streets, but different age groups of the streets. Like Meek has the older crowd in the streets, and he got the younger guys too, but Lil Baby got them young 17 up to 25-year-olds going crazy. So it's going to be interesting, but I think it's going to be Meek in the end.
All right, we'll find out soon. Stop placing so many stupid bets, though.
No, I had Lil Baby, but I said if I hear that one song from Meek, I'm switching. Yeah, I'm switching. If you drop it, he got 4 days. Yeah, now if he drop it in the next 4 days, I'm switching.
All right.
All right, so last week we were supposed to get the new album from 6ix9ine, Dummy Boy, and it was actually, I got the update that the album had dropped, weirdly enough, and then you clicked in and it wasn't there. So anyway, of course, the project got delayed. He was also denied bail last week. I'm sorry, I cannot speak this morning. But he did attend a court hearing, an arraignment this week, where he pled not guilty to racketeering, weapons, and drug charges, and now his trial is set for September 4th, 2019. So it seems like he's going to be incarcerated for a while. Ak, do you have any updates for us outside of these?
Well, I do have an update. Around 1 o'clock today, the album will be officially out. So Dummy Boy will officially be out today. And that's per the instructions of 6ix9ine.
Okay.
You know.
Why did he want it released now?
Well, you know, he didn't want the album to be leaked. And of course, his label and people around him did not want the album to come out based on his current situation. But the fact that it is leaked, for him, you know, while he's locked down, he still wants to satisfy his fans. And he's like, rather than people scrunching around trying to get a leak, he's like officially put it out. And he just want to let people know he misses his fans. Okay. And of course, it's freedom, clearly, right?
Yeah. I mean, so he was being held in a center in Brooklyn where they thought that he was maybe in danger, so he's been moved. And since then, his lawyer, Lance Lazar, released a statement basically saying that he is innocent and this whole image he was portraying was just to sell records. He says, quote, an entertainer who portrays a gangster image to promote his music does not make him a member of an enterprise. Mr. Hernandez became a victim of the enterprise and later took steps by firing employees and publicly denounced this enterprise through a morning show. So, of course, he's referencing his interview on The Breakfast Club where he said that he fired his whole team and then, unfortunately, he was locked up shortly afterwards. So, yeah, I don't have anything else to add here. Still unfortunate, but...
I have a question. I have a question for you, Ak. I wanted to know why you did a video blog about the allegations that they putting on him with the whole Tato thing.
The allegations? Well, there's... I love the internet. It's the biggest source of misinformation. If you look online today, people think I like brandished or like just I found or published it or I paid for or just exposed the video about 6ix9ine. TMZ came out with a video. Right. TMZ is a very reputable media source, just like everybody else. And a lot of other people followed up afterwards. Complex even posted it. I did a commentary on it, really giving my analysis of it. And for me, the stance I took was, this is really so sad. Again, personally, I've never seen this side of anybody, right? But beyond that, I felt like I saw a lot of elders in that video, and for a certain type of conversation to be recorded, somebody should have said, either cut the camera off or stop talking.
Yeah, I mean,
and I know online is like really accountability is very. I get that he's locked up and no one likes it to point accountability where it should go. So everyone would say, not even the outlet that really released it, they're not getting the blame. Not also the outlets that also posted it getting the blame. They're saying, well, you also talked about it, right? And honestly, that is a very fine line because I'm cool with them, but it's, should I just then do subjective news? I'm cool with a lot of these dudes.
I know.
I'm cool with Smoke Perp. Should I never have, like, talked about what happened with him and Russ? I'm cool with, like, unfortunately, from most of the people I'm hearing from, they're not close to any of the music that they give commentary afterwards about. They don't talk to the Smoke Perps, but they'll talk about afterwards when he gets jumped. They don't talk to the exes, but if he gets killed, they'll talk about it. So of course, like I seem like I'm the, like, hey, it looks like I'm the person that's giving, like, I've seen some ridiculous, someone's like, you're giving evidence to the police. I looked through the indictment, like, most of the evidence came from 6ix9ine's Instagram. You can't blame, like, accountability is still a thing. You can't blame Complex for posting or reposting something. It's not like people are doing investigative journalism and saying, hey, this is what we found. TMZ does it sometimes. Jezebel does it sometimes. But most of the other media outlets, like, you're just reposting. And I do believe in hip hop, we pick and choose who we give the blame to, right? So I looked at all that, and I mean, I seen the points that were made where people are like, yo, why did you put that up? And actually, in full transparency, I reposted the TMZ article, and I took it down off my Instagram because I said it needs some type of context. Just like if you guys are gonna write an article and there's, well, I'm pointing at you like you're Complex, but Complex. If you're gonna write an article because of some information that came out, you're gonna add some type of context in how you view it, if it's a think piece or whatever, and that's what I did.
I understand that. I think that the biggest problem with it is that that's something that he hasn't been charged with, and he's also your friend. So people are gonna look at it from the standpoint of like, why would you just say anything about it? Only because at the same time, act like when people putting you up there with TMZ, and that's a kind of a testament to the work that you do. You know what I mean? Not just the video blogs, but a lot of shit you do, people are putting you in the same class as a TMZ, etc. So a lot of people, specifically people that look at your page, they don't know shit about TMZ. Not that they don't know, they know, but it's like, that's mainstream.
For a lot of people, they feel like I broke this thing.
They feel like that because they don't look to TMZ. Like a lot of people don't follow TMZ, but they follow you, so they looking at you first. But I think that the biggest thing is that because y'all have a relationship, it kind of looks like, damn, he hasn't been charged with this. Not that you just giving them information, but just you speaking about it. I think that sometimes when, like for me, I have tons of friends that go through things, and I never post free my friends and none of that because that's my personal feelings. So I don't get into that. I mean, I leave that for how I deal with it. And I think, you know, the discrepancy is where people may have that sentiment for something that they would do as opposed to what you do. So it's kind of good how you explained it, but at the same time,
I put it like this. First of all, and you've never, so like this is, you know, like I think sometimes people, they don't hear the other side. So like this is a rare time I'll talk about it. I see a million Instagram posts. I'm not gonna comment back.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
So like I'll comment on this, which is our platform. But for example, if I had that video, and by the way, I've been around 6ix9ine and whatever, if stuff is off the record, you'll never hear about it. Now, later, ever, you won't hear about it, period. Right. You get me? I only commented on that thing because it's now published by an organization that, even if people equate me to TMZ, it's pretty huge. It's like the Daily News publishing that somebody got arrested. And I'm like, I ain't gonna talk about it because that's my guy. Again, I did feel like after I reposted, that's why I deleted it, right? I deleted it because I said there was no context to that. And I made a video, and the video stays up. It's still up. You could go hear what I said. I'm giving context to the whole thing. Again, I didn't publish it. And if that was something, and you know, like I did a lot of digging on how that video was even, like, how that video even came about. But that might be a story for another day. However, it would look away, and this is what I say. I look at me, I look at World Star, I look at other outlets, because there's a face to Akademiks, right? It's a little different, right? Because World Star posted it. They kept it up. No one's getting that World Star. But I get, they're like, you're friends with the guy. Now, for me, it can be a catch-22. I have relationships and I'm cool with everyone. I just came from Atlanta. I was hanging out with 21 all weekend. He was really nice to me.
This is always something I'm impressed by. So like you have these relationships, but they don't influence the way your content works. But with him, because of what happened to him now, do you think twice, or do you feel conflicted at all when you have to cover him because of his legal situation, or has nothing changed in that regard?
When it comes to things and things where I maybe have been privy to, saw, whatever, that was never mentioned. yeah, that stuff doesn't go into the reporting, and also I have to keep that very separate. Like a lot of like for example, I hung out with 21. If something came out about him that wasn't of that nature, I'd be like, no, yo, this I've been around him. He's kind of like this. That's giving some context. I would add that. Now when it comes to 6ix9ine, because of the levity of this situation, yeah, I separate all of that. I'm only talking about the public stuff that comes out. There's information, not like, oh my God, yeah, no.
But things that are off the record.
Yeah, no, I know things that may come to light, right? Because there's information out there. But am I trying to be the first to break it? Most of the stuff with 6ix9ine now, like, I just broke, his album's dropping today. Right? But I'm not breaking, oh yeah, well, he just signed this deal, or, yo, he got these new charges. Nah, like, those stuff I try to, you know what I mean, separate from. And I understand why people looked at it like that, but I guess I asked the question, and I'm open to discussion, which side would you like me to do? Because if I do completely subjective journalism, the subjective journalism is that when I did the interview, the first interview with 6ix9ine, which was very controversial about his case, and Jezebel also published a report to say he lied like 60 times during it. If I do subjective journalism, I don't give a fuck about what you guys say the facts are. That's my guy, and I talk to him. Right. So I'm going with him always. I'm not a journalist at that point. I'm a PR person.
That's true.
You get me? So am I a PR person? And also, and you know, speaking to, like, with everybody, like, people are, like, really mad. I know my
about your coverage.
Yeah, with this one thing.
Okay.
I know my relationship with 6ix9ine. I've spoken to his people directly. People who are on the outside, I appreciate them having that opinion, but I would also invite them to talk to me sometimes, rather than always just formulating and making an opinion. You get me? It's easy when you've never talked to the person to say, hey, all right, so why'd you do that? You said, all right, so why'd you do that? Well, this is why it looked weird. Let's talk about it, right? And maybe that's because I don't really know that many people. A lot of the people who really
I get that.
Don't know.
I get that.
But yeah, it looks weird because it's a pile-on effect. Because you know what's gonna happen? One person posts some shit to everybody else who doesn't know. They read that shit and say, kind of makes sense. Let's pile on some more. But just to really sum everything up, it was never my intent to put out anything that could be incriminating against, like, that would be idiotic. That would be just idiotic. I was literally, in the sense of doing my job, posting something that's already been out there. I didn't break it at all. Okay, TMZ, there's a money trail of how they got it, right? Something that's
crazy.
Something that is already out there, that whether you want to acknowledge that it was published before you saw on my page, that's up to you. But I literally try to give context to it. It's about context. Like, the way I know him, right? Other people don't know him. So when I could be like, okay, oh, no, he's trolling here or whatever, you might look at it like, no, I don't seem like it, but that's the context that I could give. Yeah. So I understand some of the outrage, but
it seems like it's only going to get more complicated, and you're going to have more of these issues as the case unfolds. But I mean, the good news is that the album is coming, right? So we could just talk about the music for a bit instead of everything else.
I haven't heard it.
No, I mean, it's dropping. It's dropping soon. So it'd be nice to just talk about his music in general.
Yeah, people sent, like, a lot of people send it to me, but like I
didn't listen to.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it, but it's like, it's hard to, like, listen to music, because now it's like, whenever something's going on and then music is matched with that, it's like now you listening for certain shit throughout everything. So.
It's true. I forgot what his predictions were for the album, but I feel like now more people than ever are going to tune in just out of curiosity as well.
Yeah, but also, like, it was circulating and being pirated so
you think his fans won't, like, try to stream it or whatever?
No, they'll try to stream it. I'm just saying, if it was released on Friday. Numbers out of this world, but now it still do numbers. But you have to think about, like, just again, even listen to it. Shoot, I listened to it and I heard, like, certain verses felt changed, and I was like,
felt recently changed.
Yeah, because, like, the snippet was different, and also he's denouncing shit on the album. You get me? Which, if I never saw it on the snippet, you denouncing stuff, right? Now I hear it on the album. Who knows?
All right.
So
we'll give an official review tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I'll try. Well, children, please stop trolling. Like, that's all I can say. Like, no, seriously, like, stop trolling. Like, 'cause trolling begets a lot of bullshit. So stop trolling.
Yeah, and that is a very good point. That's not even like that's not even a joke. That's a good point because me following up, and I've been really going the extra mile and figuring out exactly what's what because there's so much shit going on. That's exactly why he's not getting bail. It's not the money. It's not him being a flight risk. They literally think that he's a danger to the community with social media and the internet. So
we said this was what he was really good at and super smart at. So again, we're saying that he knew this risk the whole time, but he did it anyway, right?
Accountability.
Great. All right. Well, all right, the album's coming, so we're going to look out for that. I guess we're going to get out of here so we can get this episode up on time today. You guys are good? Any final thoughts before we go?
We're not going to talk about Pusha and Drake, man?
I was waiting for you. All right, here we go. Pusha
Let's
and
do it.
Nah, she wasn't waiting. She was about rap. That was 43 minutes, man. Yo, they didn't see us in like, first of all, they're mad at me. And by the way, yesterday was my fault.
Mad at Act.
They were mad at me, so I got to give them an extra topic. We won't go in.
Oh, all right, Act for the people. All right, so Pusha had a show in Toronto recently, and a group of people decided to throw beer at him during it, and he really thought that Drake was behind the whole thing. Can we check out the footage?
Oh, shit.
Some niggas to throw beer, nigga. The fuck is that? Y'all know where the fuck I'm from?
All right, so do you guys think Drake paid people to throw a beer? And if he did, does that mean he also bought the beer? You know how fucking expensive it is to buy drinks at a show? Why would you spend like $13 on a drink to throw it at a rapper? It doesn't make any sense.
Drake made $94 million last year. I think he could afford
he bought all
beers.
He bought the whole bar out.
I just want to know, was that dry snitching if he was blaming Drake?
Dry
I don't know.
snitching?
I don't even.
However, though, I do feel like this is, it's screwed up in so many different ways, and I'm hoping Drake wasn't behind this. I honestly hope Drake wasn't behind this. Because before this, I believe, despite it getting really personal, it was no physicality with it. And now when you bring this type of energy now, which, you know, like what's not reported is that one of the gentlemen who was trying to do something and one of the security guards who was trying to protect, they went to the hospital. There was several stab wounds, and now it's like it's very serious now. Wow. You get me? Like someone could have died, and whether it was sent by whoever, or like if you're doing that for somebody, and now you could have died, and also if I'm Pusha, I'm thinking something could happen to me. It escalates to another level, and this should have ended a while ago. We've seen Pusha, to his credit, when fans, and they apparently shout at every show. When they say fuck Drake, stop. Y'all got that out?
Right, and then the guy who changed the thing to fuck Drake behind him at the show, and he wasn't into that either.
Yeah, let's get past it. And also, I'm hoping this is really just randomly orchestrated, like just super fans maybe, even though that's disgusting too. I'm just hoping Aubrey isn't behind this.
Wayno, I don't think that you have the specific answers here, but in your experience, do rappers do petty shit like this? Pay fans to throw beer at another rapper? This seems like a little much for someone as big as Drake.
I don't know if somebody would pay an artist. I expected something to happen. Like I didn't expect it to be just all smooth sailing. But what I was mad at, well, let me say I was not mad. What I was displeased with was nobody really showed how he had this shit rocking. Like they didn't show how that was one moment of the show, and he did a whole entire show there, right? And had the shit rocking. So 2 or 4 or 5 people who did some dumb shit, they played a stupid game and they won a stupid prize. Yeah. That's it. But of course there's no, it shouldn't be no room for no violence or whatever. And I think I don't think that, I don't know if Drake specifically sent somebody there, and I wouldn't say that. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened in that moment. I just think that it was just kind of crazy that a lot of people thought that something wasn't gonna happen. I knew something was gonna happen. Like it was bound, something was bound.
Just because he was in the city?
Yeah, because he's in Toronto. It's just like, now I'm pretty sure Drake could go to VA, right? He's gonna do good, but if he goes to VA, he's gonna do like a arena or some shit.
You're not running up there.
Huh?
You're not running up there.
Nah, you're not. You can't run up there. Like you're not running up there. I'm just saying like there's probably somewhere where he could go where somebody is not going to be happy to see him.
Right.
That's gonna happen. But he was able to do the show. It was a great show. I actually went to the last show of the Daytona tour last night in New York, which is very dope. But yeah, like I said, they played a stupid game. They won a stupid prize. Ultimately, nobody should be getting hurt over no shit like this.
And you know what? Again, Pusha seemed to believe it was Drake.
Right.
I will say.
I mean, what would you think at that moment? Like,
I get it. And also, if the guy's on record basically saying on the HBO show, The Shop, saying, yo, he said certain shit, we're going to punch him in his face. Yeah, you're already sending a threat of violence or promising violence. So when violence comes in the city that you're from, I'm going to probably just make the safest assumption to say you might be behind it. Honestly, I hope Drake even condemns this. Yeah. Because shit could go both ways. It's not, I don't care. You can be in the arena all the time. No one's untouchable. Right. So I hope he condemns this. It was a moment that was really interesting for fans. We're going to meme the shit out of it. Yeah. And you know, as crazy as things got, or we thought it was getting crazy with Drake and Meek, we never saw this shit.
That's what I'm saying. I want them to have their moment, the makeup moment, even if it takes 10, 15 years. I know that seems super far-fetched right now, shit's super personal, et cetera, but
in 15 years, Adonis might catch a fade.
Time heals everything. Well, most
you always gotta say some wild. Like, I knew we wasn't gonna get through this whole episode.
No,
Adonis might catch a fade.
Some wild shit.
I'm just
saying.
Leave
that man's son out of this shit, man. Leave his son.
Pusha should have done that. But yeah, I didn't like this at all. I didn't like this at all.
Yeah, I think even if it's just fans, like it's like,
cut it out. Don't go to someone's show to do stuff like that.
Yeah, because at the same time, then the venue is gonna bring some legal action against you because
it's bad for every single person.
It's bad for
fans,
everybody.
The artist, the venue. It's a good look for no one. So hopefully this does not happen again. All right, now I believe that's our show, right, guys?
That's it.
All right, we'll see you here tomorrow. I don't know what day it is anymore, but 11:30 a.m. on Complex. Whew.